Welcome to a Glaass tutorial. In this video, I'm going to show you how to create private and invisible folders in Glaass. Users with folder controller permission can privatize and make folders invisible in each of the templates. To privatize a folder, right-click on the folder and select Privatize Folder. By default, Glaass will make the folder visible, and then you can then select the users or the groups who will have access to this private folder. Once you've selected the users and groups, click Save. Private folders show a padlock icon on the folders to denote that they are private. If you try clicking on the folder and you do not have access, you will not be able to enter the folder. If you are a user with folder controller permission, you will see private folders and you do have the opportunity to edit them and grant yourself access. If a user who does not have access to a private folder tries to enter the private folder, they will receive a prompt letting them know that they do not have access. If they are not a user with folder controller permission, they will not have the opportunity to edit the private folder either. To make a private invisible folder, right-click on the folder and then select Privatize Folder, and then change the visible toggle to No, and then select the users or groups who you would like to have access to that private invisible folder. When you're done, click Save. Users with folder controller permission will still see all private invisible folders because they are able to edit all private folders in the project. Users who do not have access to private invisible folders nor folder controller permission will not be able to see those private folders in the project. If a folder is created within a private folder, it will inherit those privacy settings. So when the folder is created, it will show the padlock icon and it will have the same privacy settings as the root private folder. If a folder is privatized by a group, as users are added to that group, they will then be able to access the private folder. Likewise, as those users who have been removed from the group will then no longer be able to access the private folder. If a folder is no longer required to be private, you can remove the privacy settings by editing the private folder and then clicking Remove Privacy in the toolbar, and the padlock icon will be removed from the folder, whereby all users can then access the cases inside that folder. That was a step-by-step guide on how to create private and invisible folders in Glaass. Only users with folder controller permission can privatize and make folders invisible. Private and invisible folders can be edited to update or remove privacy settings. Only users or groups who have access to private folders can enter. Folder controller permission users can see all folders, including invisible folders they do not have access to. If a folder is moved into a private folder, the folder will automatically inherit those privacy settings. Privatizing folders does not notify users. That was a step-by-step guide on how to create private and invisible folders in Glaass. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to our support team.